Quantum physics teaches us about entanglement. And what we know about entanglement is if something's going to change, everything's going to change. People are not going to be able to rise out of poverty if people who are not in poverty don't change as well. We all have to change, and we all have to change with purpose. But when we do, you'll say to yourself, why did I not do this 10 years earlier? We don't have to look any further than ourselves to solve that. You have enough time and you have enough love to commit to people who are in poverty. My desire to do this, my vow of service, really comes from just being a human being. I was working at American University and I was teaching a class in the spring of 2001. I asked my students to do some volunteer work where they would connect us with people who lived in poverty. And so I did the volunteer work as well, and I found myself in apartments of people who were living in scarcity in a region where there was an abundance of stuff. And I was embarrassed that I wasn't doing more about it. So I really did just stop everything else I was doing and started a wider circle.
Did you have a bookshelf in mind in particular?
No, I was going to go look at these down.
Okay.
When you come to a wider circle, you see furniture of all types. That's what happens when you live in a region where people have a lot of stuff.
How this is going to work, you're going to just put your sticker on, whatever it is that you find.
We move about 4 million pounds of furniture a year here. And we make sure we have a showroom stocked of good stuff, beds and dressers and tables and chairs. And then they have to come here and get it. For them, it's kind of like shopping, except it's all free.
Our typical pickup range is about an hour out from our center. We have a great group of guys. They're all very dedicated to the mission.
Nobody's in poverty Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. When you're in poverty, you are not free and you are not independent. So the idea of just making sure people had enough stuff was really basic. Unless people have the essentials in life, it's really hard to think about growth and evolution. The average income of people who come to a wider circle is $12,000 a year. The average family size is 4. They're often moving from pillar to post. And if you get evicted or if you have to move quickly, it's not like you can take that table and walk with it to your next place. So we furnish homes, but we furnish homes because you have to if you really want people to have a chance to rise out of poverty.
That's the plain truth of it here in this country. The only way we end poverty is if all of us commit to it.
For me, it's very personal. It was a spiritual decision to do this, but the spirituality of it is being alive and being connected to other human beings. I was born to a family that was lower middle class, and my father continued to excel at work, and so we went from lower middle class to upper class. The good thing about growing up like that is my father and mother still instilled in me the notion that you got to do what's right. And I think I had a pretty good internal compass that it's not right to let people live in the poverty that I see all around me.
So we are in my home. This is my living room. It's really the only room I ever occupy.
Maybe almost 8 years ago, I just got in a new bed and I plopped down on it, spread eagle, and put my arms out wide, and I was like, oh, this feels great. I can't have this.
And I haven't slept in a bed since, and I'm not going to sleep in a bed until we have nobody else in this country who needs a bed but can't afford one.
I am not human if I am not helping other people to have a dignified life. I show my gratitude for what I've been given by making sure I do all I can to help others.
Let me unlock the door. I heard about a wider circle through a veterans program. I got diagnosed with an aneurysm. So I was in the hospital for a good amount of time. Once I got sick, I couldn't work and bills just pile up. All my stuff was in storage and I wasn't able to pay, and they auctioned it. Tons of agencies I called to help me out. You know, I had to swallow pride. I've been working since I was 11 years old, you know what I mean? So you don't want to have to do that. This is my boobie. This picture is when she turned a year. She's gonna come in here and she's gonna say, wait a minute, this doesn't look like the same way it was the last time I was here. It's gonna feel a lot more like home.
Make no mistake, this is only about helping people get out of poverty. It is not one for business to solve alone or government to solve alone. All of us have to be engaged in this together. When you live with that kind of a mindset, then it's a blessing, and you realize how lucky you are to be able to do this.
I'm glad to be here today.